Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. I haven't posted on this channel in a few weeks and I literally decided to film this video like 2 minutes ago because I was scrolling through my subscription feed on this channel and I saw a few people doing this vlog and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it too. Please excuse how I'm looking right now. I tested positive for COVID. I'm coming out sort of the other end of it and I'm feeling a lot better today, but I think you can probably still hear in my voice that I'm a little bit croaky, so I apologise for the way I look and everything, but I'm kind of confined to my bedroom. But because I'm stuck in my room with nothing to do, I thought why not make a reading vlog. So this vlog is going to be reading Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. This came out 3 days ago now, I believe. This was £5 from the works, which I was really surprised about considering it's a new release. £5 is just such a good price. I read the Love Hypotheses back in June and I did like it. I thought it was a little overhyped if I'm honest, but I was really intrigued to try out this book. I do want to start off by saying I absolutely love the cover of this one. The pinks and the blues on it, I think it just looks really gorgeous. I didn't look into what this book was about. I literally just picked it up because it was a new release and I wanted to read more by this author. I'm also going to try and tab this book. I've attempted to tab books before and completely failed, but we're going to give it a go. I think it's just coming up for 12 o'clock, so I'm starting it halfway through the day, so I think I'm going to start reading it a bit now and I'll check in with you maybe after the first 2 or 3 chapters just to see how I'm finding it. So I've just finished chapter 3. I have managed to put in 2 tabs so far, so it's not a lot, but it's going better than the last couple of times I've tried to tab a book. I'm liking it so far. At the minute, to me, it is feeling very similar to the Love Hypotheses. In this one, our 2 characters, B and Levi, are put to work side by side on this project with NASA. I'm loving the fact that the main character B has purple hair because I dyed the ends of my hair purple last year and really liked it, and I've got a hair appointment next month and something's just telling me to go purple, and I don't know why, but the fact reading this book and the character has purple hair is just making me think that I really do need to dye my hair purple. I'm finding it similar though in the ways that it seems very grumpy sunshine. Levi's coming across that he clearly doesn't like and can't stand B. In that sense, it does feel kind of similar to the other book, and it's also mentioned quite a lot in the first 3 chapters about how different women are treated within science and STEM. So B also has a Twitter account that she runs and a lot of people tweet in with issues they're kind of facing and about how they're treated differently. And I've never worked in STEM, but I did used to work in what was a predominantly male trade, and I would say in about, I think there's about 30 staff or something on our site, there were only 2 females, and I can relate to what it's like being one of the only females in a workplace. Obviously it's a different setting to what I was used to, but I don't know, I feel like I can relate to the characters being treated differently because that's certainly how I felt sometimes. So I'm almost halfway through the book. I'm on page 138 and I was going to come on earlier and I'm kind of glad I didn't because my opinion's changed already, but the way that Levi was treating B, I was just kind of finding myself getting annoyed towards him, and I just couldn't see how in any way, the way that she was being treated, that they could actually end up liking each other, because I feel like if someone had been treating me that way, there's no way I would like ever give them a second chance. I think I would just automatically just not like them. But then I read on a little bit more and found out that maybe it was a misunderstanding, and I probably should have seen that coming, knowing that this is a kind of enemies to lovers story. But now I'm really liking him and I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying this a lot more than I did when I was reading the Love Hypotheses. So far this is definitely my favourite out of those 2 books. I've still only got the 2 tabs that I put in earlier. If anyone has any tips on tabbing, then please let me know, like, what kind of things do you tab, what's worth tabbing, and just how do you get yourself into it, because it's a habit that I want to do. As I want to make more videos, I feel like it's going to be easier to go back and discuss books if they're tabbed, so then I can just go back through the book, pick up where there is a tab and be like, oh right, that's what happened there. So if you do that or annotate or anything in your books, how do you get yourself into that habit? So it's 3:30 in the afternoon and I think I'm going to take a bit of a break from reading now. Today has sort of been the day that I felt best when having COVID, but now the day's getting on, I'm starting to feel a little bit more tired, so I'm going to put the book away for a bit. I'm just reading for the sake of reading. I'm not really taking any information about the book in, so I'm going to put that down for a bit, and instead I'm going to try and focus on something else. I don't think I've ever mentioned it or anything on this channel. I don't think I've ever said it out loud to anyone either. If you're watching this, you can probably assume that I love books and reading, and one of my big dreams is to write a book of my own, which I think many readers share that goal. And my best friend and I are also actually trying to write a book together. I have a few concepts of stories of my own and I plan them all, but I just can't get past the first couple of chapters. So my best friend and I are sort of stepping aside and we've got this concept together that we want to try and start. We're in the planning stages at the moment, and I'm thinking that maybe one of the reasons my books kind of aren't progressing as much as I would like is because of the planning. So I'm trying to put a lot more thought and planning into the stories that I want to write, and hoping that if I get in a slump with my writing, I can look back at these plans and just get myself back into it, if that makes sense. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos like this on developing characters, developing stories, and then I've got a notebook here that I've been using to kind of write down any tips that I have found. And yeah, I think I might just spend half an hour or so watching some more videos and just writing some more in this notebook, because I'm seeing my best friend next weekend and I think we kind of want to do a big brainstorm for our story, and I kind of want a bit more of this to take along, so that might help us. I really wish that I could have a bit more of a appeasing background, but unfortunately there's nowhere else other than my bed in this room that I can sit. So another update, I am on page 262, which is the first page of chapter 19. I've made a few more tabs and I don't want to give away like any spoilers of what actually happens, but all I'm going to say is this tab here is when one of them admits their feelings, and then this tab here, which you can't really tell are separate, is the first spicy scene, and there's been a few more since then actually. And that's kind of one thing that does annoy me a little bit in books, like when as soon as the characters admit they have feelings, they immediately go and get it on, and then it just happens again and again and again for the rest of the book. I read one of those a few weeks ago, and I'm not saying this is going to be the same, but literally it was like 3/4 of the way through the book they admitted their feelings and then did nothing else for the rest of the book. So I'm really hoping that this isn't going to follow that. B is starting to annoy me a little bit now. Like, they've admitted their feelings, they are doing things, and he's taken her out to dinner, but she's like, we're not dating, and I know neither of them has explicitly said that they are dating, but to me it's like, I think you're dating. So I don't know if that's just me, but I don't know, that's just annoying me a little bit. But that's where I am now, so I'm determined to finish it this afternoon. I think I might take another little bit of a break now so that I don't overload myself with information. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it as much as I was at the start. I said I was going to take a break, but I've immediately picked the book back up again. But I did want to pop back on and say, I know that I mentioned just now that I thought they were dating and that in my opinion they were, and I think that might just be like a misunderstanding on my part, because the bit I'm at now, I think the reason she's saying they're not dating is because she's obviously temporarily living in Houston and she's going to be going back home, and because she's going back home she doesn't see the point in starting anything. So I feel like she's under the impression that he's not going to want to go long distance, or she's not going to move there and he's not going to move there, and that's why there like isn't any point in them having a relationship. Now I understand that, I think I just kind of overlooked that when I was reading earlier, but I will say at the very start of chapter 19, just the way B's talking is just a little annoying, and I do like her as a character. I just feel that the more the book's going on, there are certain times that she's annoying me a little bit more. So it's 5:30 and I have just finished reading Love on the Brain. So it took me about 5.5 hours with some breaks, which I don't think is too bad. I was liking this book and I did still like it, but then I got to chapter 24 and I don't even know how to explain it. I guess I just wasn't expecting what happened was going to happen. There's a character in there that I assume was a good guy and turns out they weren't, and then it was like very dramatic for like 2 or 3 pages and then it just ended, and I don't know, I just felt like it didn't really fit in with the rest of the book. And I guess it's good that something happened that shocked me that I didn't see was coming, but at the same time I was just kind of reading it like I just didn't really believe that it would happen, if that makes sense. I know this probably sounds really awful, I just don't want to say what actually happened because I want this to be like a spoiler-free reading vlog. But yeah, chapter 24, don't quite know what to say about that one. The ending was kind of obvious as to what was going to happen. Maybe it's just because I've read a lot of books, I've read a lot of romance books, so you kind of get good at guessing what is going to happen at the end of them. I think overall, if I'm going to compare it to The Love Hypothesis, which is the only other book that I have read by Hazelwood, this one is my favourite, and I feel overall I would rate it like a 4 out of 5 stars. I feel that a 3.5 would be a little harsh because I did enjoy it, but I just didn't love it, and I feel really bad saying that about books that I didn't enjoy, but I feel like I have to be honest. Like, it was an easy enough read. I was able to sit and read it all within one day. I think if I wasn't isolating with COVID, it might have taken me a few days to get through it, because I think at times I would have got a little bit annoyed with the characters and just given up, but because I have a few days of unlimited time, I just sat and read it. Would I recommend this book? Yes. Would I say it's the best romance book that I've ever read? No. I did enjoy it. 4 out of 5 stars. Absolutely love the cover of this still. And yeah, I'm sorry this is probably a bit of a boring jumbled vlog, but it was kind of a spur of the moment. I'm gonna read this book, I'm gonna vlog it. I'm a little bit out of breath throughout this whole video because breathlessness is something I'm really struggling with at the minute with this COVID, and I'm sorry for being absent on my channel the last few weeks, but life's just been ridiculously hectic. But I'm hoping this video is going to get me back into posting on this channel. Let me know if you've read this book and if you enjoyed it or not, or if it's a book that you don't think you're going to pick up and why. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.